It's no wonder the Alouettes folded today. They lost $4 million last season and had sold only 4,000 season tickets for this year. Still, the announcement today was a shock for the Montreal players and coaches. More on the story from Derek Fitzgerald.
For the Alouette players and coaches, it was business as usual this week. They were set to play the Argonauts in Toronto tomorrow night. But Alouette President Norm Kimball had a big surprise for them.
There was not enough interest in the Montreal Alouettes in the Montreal area to proceed with the 1987 season.
The news left players in a state of shock.
There was a lot of surprise for a lot of the players, although some of us were expecting something like it.
Mark Hopkins was a veteran linebacker with the Owls. All that's left of his football career in Montreal is an empty locker and his name tag. He blames management for the demise of pro football here.
Management must accept part of the blame as well for whether it's the marketing, whether it's the presentation of the team or whatever. They have to take part of the blame as well.
Other players, like Canadian receiver Jacques Chapdelaine, don't blame management.
And I think management did all they could this year to make this team survive. They did a lot of good work and put a lot of good time and good work in this organization. So that's the way it went.
But defensive lineman Glenn Kulka says too much was expected of the players without the support of the fans.
Basically just the management and the marketing aspect, what they expect from a team to do in a year. I don't know whether they expected us to make up money they had lost from the previous years or what they expected us from this year. You're not going to pull a franchise out in one season. I don't care who you are.
So now the team that couldn't sell football has left its players without jobs. Derek Fitzgerald, CBC Sports, Montreal.
And those Montreal players will be put in a dispersal draft, which will be held on Friday. So now the CFL is down to 8 teams. Winnipeg moving into the Eastern Conference. The schedule has been changed. The Stampeders were to play Montreal in their home opener next Wednesday. Now they'll take on BC at McMahon Stadium. And they'll also have to play in Edmonton this coming Saturday night. That, too, a schedule change. But the Stampeders management is trying to look at the Alouettes' demise as being positive for the league.
Some sense, I think it's probably a blessing in disguise, and it'll help our league to strengthen, because I think there's been good progress made in these other cities, and we get competitive on the field. I think Winnipeg going into the Eastern Conference, being realigned, I think that will really enhance the Eastern Conference considerably, and so I can see that we've really strengthened ourselves in a lot of regard, even though we hate to lose an old friend that we've had for so many years in the Alouettes.
And Lunsford feels the Alouettes' collapse might do more than just strengthen the league. He can also see benefits for the Stampeders.
The lowest drawing team that we had in this league was Montreal, and certainly in our park it was a lowest drawing team in terms of attendance. So to play BC Lions next Wednesday here in a home opener, I think is super, because they do draw well, and I think we'll have a very competitive game. So I think that, in a small measure, that's how it would help us in terms of saying, yeah, we'll have a better schedule, not having to play Montreal here, as it has been our past history's record over the last 5 to 10 years, how we draw with them. So I think that'll enhance us one way. Also, I think the revenues will be sharing 8-way, and that should have some monetary effect for our football club, in minor ways. But in a lot of regard, I think it'll help us. It'll make us more competitive, because you're taking the weakest team in the league out of it, and that'll make it more competitive to make those playoff spots.